Episode 2, my transition. Every Friday, I talk about segments of my transition, and last week I started at age 20, and I'm going to carry on talking about age 20, around about age 20. I want to make it clear again, these videos are about my journey, the choices I made. Even when my life was in a perilous situation, it was either transition or die, I made that choice to stay alive, to remain alive. Episode 2, segment 2, my transition. In my videos, I will not be including people's names, and I will not be talking about other people. It's going to be about me. I made this choice and nobody else did. Right, so last week I spoke about what Yom Kippur looked like. What Yom Kippur looked like, what it felt like when I had to come back down to earth and face the challenges of my identity. I spoke about that last week, and this week I'll carry on talking about roughly around that age 20. So at age 20, I decided at one point that that's it. I'm getting rid of all my CDs, all my tapes, which had Hasidic pop singers on them. I said, I want to become very devout. And so Hasidic pop singers like Mordechai Ben David or Avram Fried, they are too modern for me. I'm going to get rid of those singers. And I'm going to become a lot more devout. And I'm going to spend at least an hour and a half on morning prayers. I got to synagogue very early. I regularly got to synagogue very, very early. And I would study Torah before praying in the synagogue. And then I would take word by word and stretch them and talk to God in a very connecting way. Like I said in my last video, there were parts of it which really worked for me, and it really resonated with what I was trying to do. And that was become connected to God, do his duty, which I saw to be live as a man, and that's what I was doing. I tried very hard, and part of that trying hard was getting rid of all means of music. So I got rid of any pop singers like Mordechai Ben David. All singers were considered pop singers. And at that point, I think I sold it to somebody. I've actually met the person I sold it to. I sold the tape recorder, I sold the tapes, I sold the CDs. I said, right, I'm becoming very devout, and I'm making a full 180-degree turn in order to ascertain and to affirm my gender identity. So it was going to be no more music, and I'm becoming very devout with prayer and study. I also decided at the time that obviously I need facial hair, because if I don't have facial hair, then I'm not affirming and not consolidating my male identity. So I then went and started growing facial hair. And I remember telling myself at the time, look, facial hair means facial hair, no trimming. That means you let it grow the way it is. So I started growing a beard, and that beard was getting quite long. I still remember at one point, I was getting very, very itchy. And I said to myself, look, you want to become devout? You want to become connected to God? This is it. I was about 3 months on this journey, and I was studying devoutly for hours per day. I was doing roughly about 16 hours of study per day. And on Saturday, over weekends, I was doing 18 hours. From Friday sunset until Saturday night, about 2 o'clock in the morning, I was doing 18 hours minimum. And prayer, and like I said, these things worked. These things were working. And they gave me that opportunity, that ability to connect to a higher being, to God, and to connect and affirm my identity. They seem to be working. Now, I'm sure there are people who are going to say, you see, just become more devout, and that's your answer. The thing is that it didn't last, because it wasn't meant to last, because Jessica has her duty in this world ordained by God and the universe. So those who think that being devout was the answer, well, you could consider that the answer if you want. You could say that the fact that I got rid of any CDs, I got rid of old CDs, I got rid of my tape recorder, you could call that the answer. And you could say the fact that I became devout, studying Torah about 16 hours a day, you could call that devout and say, bang, I found the answer. But like I said, it didn't last, because you can't expect something like that to last. It's just apply. I always used to refer to this as a lid. Have you ever seen walking down the street in Brooklyn or Manhattan? That's where I saw mostly, like these metal covers over potholes. I haven't seen that much of that in the UK really, but in America, in New York, where I lived for the first part of my life and thereafter, they're like these metal things which cover potholes. They don't generally last. They stay there for a bit, and as cars drive, they eventually move away, and it needs to be properly seen to. So that's precisely what was going on. I was putting over covers, lids on my potholes, and like I said, they worked. They did the job for a few months. Well, I still remember I was being really, really devout, and one night I had a dream. In my dream, once again, my identity was female, and I remember when I woke up, and in that dream, my identity was female, and I was going along that journey of identifying as female in the dream, and everything that came with it. And I remember waking up, and I was so upset. You can't imagine how. I recall how upset I was. I was crying. I said, "Please, God, what are you doing? I'm on this journey for you. I'm doing this for you, God. Come on." I remember bursting into tears. I said, "Please, what are you doing?" I'm sorry. That's just how I felt at the time. Just to give you a bit of a blink into what was sort of going on behind the scenes in my head, in the dreams, etc. So there was no listening to secular music, there was no listening to Jewish music, and there was no listening to the radio, obviously. I remember at the time, I was still able to hear friends making jokes. And I particularly remember somebody cracking the joke about the famous story of the Brisker Chassid, the Brisker person who was in the desert, and he's with a friend, and an Arab comes towards them, and he pulls out a knife and he's about to stab them. And there's one friend with the Brisker Chassid, the Brisker person, who just ran. And actually, there was another friend next to him who started saying, "Let's get away from here, this is dangerous." But the Brisker Chassid started saying, "Shit, oh. And that sort of frightened the Arab terrorist, and he ran off. So the joke was basically just that, a devout person could really push boundaries. And even I, at the time, was able to see that is maybe a little too far-fetched. But yeah, I was able to crack jokes at the time. I was still able to crack jokes. I was never in a situation where I couldn't crack jokes. But that's roughly a bit of like a glimpse into what it was like. Some of the painful parts, like the dream, and also the fact that, the potholes were covered and they sort of worked for a time. That's my message today. Episode 2 about my transition, which I take responsibility for and I am fully in control of. In other words, I was in full control when I took those decisions. When I chose to save my life, that was my decision. I decided to change my life. I remember for a very long time, I sort of said, no, it's not. I didn't have a choice. I didn't have a choice whether to change my life or not. Why do people blame me for changing my life? But today, actually, yes, I had a choice. I chose to save my life. Because when we take responsibility like that, we realize that we have strengths and we have courage and we have resilience. So I chose to be courageous. I chose to save my life. In my videos, like I said, I will not talk about other people because nobody is responsible for my choice. My choices are only mine. I thought I would add a small part and talk about the fact, just if you don't mind, just a small part. I thought I'd talk about the fact that it's actually ironic that when you take control of your own ego and you try to smash your ego whenever you could, you start realizing that you're actually stronger and you actually have more strength and resilience and courage to go forward, which is ironic because, I mean, if you have an ego and you push for what you want to be done, isn't that the most controlling thing you can do for yourself in your life? So that's the irony of controlling your ego and diminishing your ego. And I feel so empowered ever since I decided that I take responsibility. I am in control of every part of my life, all encompassing. That's my message today. Remember, the 1-year anniversary is coming up. Check out my previous videos. I interview politicians, chief of police. I interview rally goers, and I have the chief rabbi who spoke at one of the rallies in Rally Manchester. I have that as well. And my Hebrew videos are also, there's some interviews in my Hebrew videos, but it's mostly about the interviews I've gone to and I translate into Hebrew. I love putting out my messages here on YouTube. I love the passion I put out, and I love feeling that passion, and the people who feel the passion with me, I can really feel it, and it feels amazing, and I feel blessed because we're like a community. We're a surrounding community. If you have any questions, please put them down below, and I will put them, and I will speak about them in a future video. That's what I do here. I honor and respect and cherish all my amazing friends here and their questions I put out there. Awesome vibes, high frequency, courage, resilience, and have a great Jewish festival of Shavuot, which is coming up on Sunday. Because of the festival of Shavuot, I will be staying away from YouTube until Monday night. But beware, I'm putting out a lot of videos. I'm preparing a lot of videos today, which are going to be put out on Monday night, Tuesday morning. So beware, there's lots and lots and lots coming. Awesome vibes. Have a great festival. Shavuot is about accepting the Torah, getting the Torah, which connects us with good lessons and good ideas and fortitude and courage and resilience. And the Torah is also, as the famous sage said, Derech Eretz Kadma Torah, which means if you don't have good traits, good habits, the Torah is not much. And as Shammai said, you could accept Torah on one leg, which actually means not having the Torah with your full encompassing reality, which is good traits and good habits, and it's not much. And similarly with other sages, they say that accepting the Torah, the first element of accepting the Torah is having good traits and being kind to each other, kind to yourself. That's the first thing. If you're kind to yourself, you're automatically able to be kind to others. That's my message today. If you liked my video, just press that like button. And if you feel good watching my video, you feel like I spoke to your heart, please, if you want, just press that subscribe button. It's that easy. It's so easy and it's so quick to get my videos right away when they come out. Awesome vibes. Anniversary's coming up. Hope to see you in my next video.